I hope you're all doing well. So today is March 2nd and it is my 6 weeks postpartum. I can't believe that time has come by this fast. Like, parts of it have seemed very slow. I think some of the parts where I'm trying to get back into work and get things done and I'm home alone and Edison's like crying and is like, give me attention now. Those parts have seemed very slow, but overall everything has seemed to move very fast, and I can't believe that it's been only 6 months at this point, and it's only just been 6 months at this point. But yes, it's starting to really sink into me and into Stephen too, that we are officially parents, that we have a little life that is dependent on us. And it's nerve-wracking, it's beautiful, it's crazy, it's so many things all wrapped up in just one giant ball of emotion. So there's that. So as far as updating of what's changed from 3 weeks postpartum to 6 weeks postpartum, so physically not much has changed with me. I thought I would be back at my starting weight by this point. I am not back at my starting weight, but I am, like, size wise I'm actually a little bit smaller. I think the reason why I'm not back at the starting weight is because I am producing so much breast milk at this point. I woke up and weighed myself before I pumped and fed Edison, and then after, and I literally lost about 1.5 pounds with just the breast milk that I am producing. So that is very uncomfortable for me right now, is just the amount of milk that I am producing. And then as far as my sutures go, I think they're all out. They're dissolvable. So I actually go meet with my midwife on the 7th. I was going to meet with her today, but then a lot of things were happening with family. Like, my dad's out here, and then next week my brother and sister-in-law are coming out, and so it's just easier to meet with her on the 7th. And so I want to meet with her to see if they're all out and whatnot, and get my official okay to go back to working out and exercising and things like that. I also feel like just my whole pelvic area is a little bit stronger. Obviously after being born, like, everything was so loose down there. Like, walking for extended amount of time was like painful, sitting was painful, like doing anything right after labor, it wasn't necessarily painful, but it was all uncomfortable. Now I feel like I can walk. I walked actually today for about 15 minutes and it felt pretty good. Like, my hips were feeling a little bit more loose than I would like them to, but it wasn't to the point where I felt like everything was kind of disjointed and whatnot. It felt really good. Additionally, I think I also said this in my 3rd week postpartum, but I can't remember. Emotionally has definitely been a bit more tough to just grapple with, though I feel like, I'm doing a good job, I think anyway, of moving through it, and I know Stephen is as well. But it was just a bit more emotionally challenging than I think we thought it was going to be, and emotionally challenging in a different way. Obviously everyone knows children are hard, and I don't think anyone goes into, like, parenthood thinking that it's going to be like, a walk in the park or anything like that. And I don't know why I'm surprised by it, because, like, I thought my pregnancy, I was well prepared for it because this is what I studied in college, and then I was not prepared for it at all. No amount of education that you get actually prepares you for, like, just everything you deal with parenthood. There's been a lot of feelings of kind of loneliness at times, and not feeling like I'm an adult that can do my own things. And I think a lot of that stems from the fact that I do work from home, and so I'm by myself all the time, and I'm used to being by myself all the time. That's not a problem for me. But then once Edison gets thrown into the mix, I can't just pick up and go like I used to. If I was getting bored at home while I was working or lonely, I could just easily pick up and go to Starbucks and work there, or I can call up a friend and just, head over there to their place and kind of, like, mend that loneliness, or, even just fall back and listen to my music and get lost in the zone. I could do that, but as a parent of a newborn, I can't just easily do that, you know. I can't really have him out, you know, especially being so young and not being vaccinated. I don't really want him out in a whole bunch of spaces where I'm not necessarily aware of some other people's health status, if that makes sense. Like, I want to keep him in where it's safe right now, so I can't just pick up and go. I can't like just put my headphones on and listen to my music on blast because I need to be able to hear him. And so it's just been a bit of a harder transition than I was originally expecting it to. So yeah, but you know, it's something that you get used to, and it's something, it's sometimes you get sad about it, but it's not like you want to go back, if that makes sense. As far as Edison is doing, we are so thankful that we are in the stage now where he's starting to cluster feed at night, and then he sleeps for about 5 hours straight at night, which is awesome because generally, you know, I sleep for about 5 hours. Steven sleeps for about 4.5 hours, and so it's starting to feel like we're getting a normal amount of sleep now. Edison is still feeding every 2 hours. He was, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the 3-week update because I don't think he had his month checkup appointment, but we were concerned that he was overeating. Even though he was on boob milk, we were concerned he was overeating. And so when we went to the doctor's office, it was confirmed that he was indeed overeating. And so we feed him for about 15 minutes every 2 hours, or we'll feed him 90 ounces of milk if we are feeding him bottled milk that I expressed. And so we'll feed every 2 hours until 10 o'clock, and then at 10 we put him to bed and he doesn't wake up. No, we put him to bed around 10:30, and then he won't wake up until about 3:34, which is wonderful because Steven's waking up at 3:30 so he can get ready for work. So it kind of times itself out well right now, so we are really happy about that. He's also getting a lot of neck muscles, so Edison was kind of able to roll over fairly early. He was able to roll over onto, like, if you put him on his back, he was able to roll over to his side and or into his face at about like 5 days, 1 week. But you know, I wasn't really surprised about that. I did that when I was younger because I preferred to sleep on my face than I did on my back. And so yeah, he's always been really strong, but he's now starting to like get some neck muscles where he can keep his head up on his own for a little bit right now. And if you like just give him a little bit of balance, like he'll pull himself up and like stand up, like not stand upright, but like sit up upright in your lap. And he's starting to like want, like being really interested in like keeping his legs straight when you like set him down on the ground. I know it's an instinctual reflex that babies have when they're first born. If you like set them down on a counter, they'll put their feet down and almost as if they're walking. That's an instinctual thing. But in walking, it's instinctual too. A lot of people think children learn how to walk, but they're really learning is strength and muscle memory, but they know how to walk. Walking is instinctual to humans. Something I learned from anthropology. I'm using my degree for something, right? And so just watching that muscle development in my son has been really awesome to see. I don't know why it was something I was worried about. I think it's just because like I'm the type of person who worries about everything. So seeing that he is able to build up that strength is wonderful. I'm also loving the fact that he's becoming more curious about things. Infants are notorious for not really being interested in anything that doesn't deal with them. So if it's not milk, you know, like why do I care? And he was definitely, you know, that child early on. Edison really wasn't interested in a lot of things, but he was interested in being held and human interaction and things like that. But as far as, you know, anything else besides the ceiling fan, he really likes our ceiling fan for some reason, and I don't know why that interests him because we haven't turned it on or anything, but he's really, it's ugly, it's plain, it's ugly, but he's really interested in the ceiling fan. But besides that, he just didn't really show interest in anything else until the beginning of this week. He's started to show interest in the environment around him, and so we're just so excited for, you know, just how he's gonna learn and interact with things. My dad's actually here right now and he's watching Edison downstairs, and so it has been really nice for just seeing him meet his family and him actually just getting to know them and whatnot. And I don't know, it makes me really happy as a mom. I'll show you guys a little clip of him with his grandpa down below. But yeah, he's been doing so well interacting with people. Tomorrow he gets to meet about 100 of my sisters. I am going to a banquet tomorrow to celebrate our 10-year anniversary. Oh my goodness, it's hard to believe we've been a sorority for 10 years. It's like we were just founded. It's crazy. Time is, I'm going to keep saying time is such a crazy concept, but time is a really crazy concept, you guys. But yeah, that is pretty much it for my 6 weeks postpartum update. I realized I didn't show you guys a clip of what my body was looking like at 3 weeks. So I'll go ahead and show you a clip now of what it's looking like at 6 weeks. So I think I put, I can't remember, but I think I put a picture of what my body was looking like for the 3-week one. And so you can really see there's not much of a change. I do have stretch marks, but I've always had stretch marks. The stretch marks weren't from the pregnancy. And so my body is pretty much back to normal. Which is awesome. We'll see if that happens with the next kid. I don't know. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, please let me know down below. I was not able to answer the questions that you guys had for my 3-week one because that literally just went up, and I am now talking about the 6-week. But when I go and do my 3-month postpartum update for you guys, I will then answer like all those questions. I'll have like a Q&A session at the end of that, if that makes sense. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, or if you are pregnant now or just starting your postpartum journey, I hope this helps you out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!